And enough time I could eat about all this stuff. Whew. I hope y'all didn't print them in duplicate.
Always take 2 copies. You got yesterday? Nope. That's all the stories.
What's the no kings? Oh, that's the name of it.
I'm missing what's it? Let's just say 10. You got 30 seconds. It's all good.
Yeah. Woo!
Five, 4, 3, 2.
It is Thankful Thursday. I want you to remember to never let the thoughts of what you want tomorrow make you forget what you already have today. It's a great day. You know what? Every day is a great day, but today especially is a great day because it's the day that the Lord has made and we shall rejoice and be glad in it. You know, it's a lot of things going on, but what's going on right now is that it's your girl Tamara Fair on the air, and I'm proudly posted in the studio with the Brunch Bunch. Y'all, it is so much going on out here. And so that's why I want you to wake up to the peace of the Lord, go to sleep to the peace of the Lord, and ask throughout the entire day, Lord, peace be still. Because literally you can be distracted. Something can rob your joy if you let it. But don't let the machinations of the enemy get you, grab you, and hold you and keep you. Let the Lord do all of that. Y'all, we got a great show for you today. It is nothing but topics that you definitely need to know. And just in case you are one of the few, well, one of the many, I should say, that get your news directly from the Brunch Bunch, we're going to hand you some today. So keep it locked. It's Inspiration 1390, the Brunch Bunch.
Be fabulous.
Okay, I can eat some more stuff.
Be social.
All right. Huh?
Be
okay,
outspoken.
Cool. Be ready
Be
to come.
family.
I got that one. Yeah, be ready for it?
Be different. Be Grease.
Grease, a new luxury brand from Tamara Fair. Grease comes in 2 distinct fragrances, the sensual Pure Royale and the alluring Forbidden Kiss. Order Grease today.
Go to bequeese.com and get your favorite fragrance today. That's BEQUEESE.com. Bequeeze.com.
Are pests invading your peace? Don't let bugs, rodents, or creepy
Pest invading
crawlies
your
ruin
peace?
your
No.
home or business.
There is a
Call
pest that's
RP
invading
Pest
people's
Solutions,
peace.
the trusted
But it's not
pest
the kind that
control
walk on
experts
several
serving our
legs.
community. Mention the Brunch Bunch and receive a special discount on your first
What?
service. Take control today and
Okay.
say goodbye.
You better
to
call that
unwanted
number.
guests. Call RP Pest Solutions now at 312-217-9605.
No, you better call that number, honey.
That's 312-217-9605. RB Pest Solutions, protecting what matters most to you.
Black men are dying, and you can be part of the solution. Join us for the most fun you'll ever have at a doctor's appointment. It's the Black Men's Wellness Day, happening Saturday, June 14th. Come and join us at Washington Park, where you can enjoy free health screening, a 5K walk run,
So the kind of
music, a
segues from
kids
what
zone,
we
and
doing,
more.
we were
This
talking about
event is
yesterday.
free and open to the public, so bring your dad, uncle, brother, son,
50.
anyone you care about.
50.
Visit
We got 50 seconds. What's up, DJ B-Lo? I miss ya.
see you there.
Hello, my love.
Receive
How are you? How's your sister? How's your family? Oh my God, thank you so much for tuning in.
or be in control.
Hey, Jerry, the 1107. What's going on? I am wonderful today as I am every day because God has made it so
And right now,
that
Secure
every
Home
day
and
I
Automation
wake
is
up in
offering an
gratitude.
exclusive
And
deal
gratitude
for
gives you a
new
different kind of
customers.
energy,
Don't
you
wait
know?
until it's too late. Call 866-447-3344.
That's right. Call Secure Home and
All
Automation
right.
today at
Oh, this is what's going
866-447-3344
on.
and take control of your safety.
It doesn't matter,
That's
right?
866-447-3344.
It's just us. Justice.
We're in the raw with Tamara Fair on the Brunch Bunch.
So Chicago will soon be joining the ranks of states that have protests going on for anti-Trump. We talked about yesterday, we talked about New York, we talked about LA, we even talked about Cleveland, Ohio, who squashed it before it even got started. But the No King protest in Chicago. Here's the things that you need to know ahead of Saturday's anti-Trump march. So a large anti-Trump protest called the No Kings March is set to take place in downtown Chicago this Saturday, June 15th, as Donald Trump comes to the city for a high-dollar fundraiser hosted by billionaire Ken Griffin. And as many of you know, Ken Griffin is lauded to be one of the richest men in the state of Illinois. So what do you expect from this? The march will start at 1 p.m. at the Wrigley Building Plaza, 400 North Michigan, and move through downtown. Organizers expect thousands to attend, with the program including speeches, music, and art performances. The event is intended to be peaceful and inclusive, welcoming all ages and all backgrounds. Now, who's behind it? A coalition of progressive groups, including Chicago DSA, Soul Good Kids, Mad City, and several labor and immigrant rights organizations is organizing this protest. They've titled it No Kings, to reject what they describe as Trump's authoritarian behavior to defend democratic values. You know, that was one of the reasons why the United States was founded, or that people set out to find a new land so that we could so that they could segue or segregate themselves from England because of this authoritarian king type of government. Well, Trump is scheduled to appear at a private fundraiser where the ticket prices range from $5,000 to $250,000, a symbol, organizers say, of the wealth gap the elite influences in politics. Well, the protest is also time to spotlight broader concerns about threats to democracy, economic inequality, climate change, and social justice. Well, there are some key demands that these protesters are calling for, and the four pillars are accountability for Trump's role in the January 6th insurrection, protection for voting rights and democratic institutions, investment in communities instead of policing, and climate justice and immigrants' rights. Well, Chicago police will monitor the event, but organizers stress that it will be a non-violent demonstration to show unity, resistance, and hope for more just policies in the future. Well, you can hope for what you want, but when people's emotions are involved, and people tend to be pretty emotional when your rights are being stripped away right before your face. Now, that's what people call playing in your face, and policy should not be playing in your face. Policy should actually, any good government should actually better its people. So, I mean, these organizers they range from young to old. So it's very inclusive, I should say, and unbiased. At least that's the premise. So, what's your thoughts on that, Justice?
Well, like I said yesterday, I'm all for people exercising their right to protest. I have faith that it will be peaceful, like we said yesterday as well. Most of the times things start out peaceful. It's usually the higher escalate things. So hopefully there's no escalation. Hopefully these people are allowed to exercise their rights. And
higher ups being the police, or yeah. Now let me tell you something. Trump may have the armed guards, the Navy, the Marines, anybody that he has the power to dispatch to actually be in Chicago. Now, it was shocking to me that he actually was coming to Chicago, since he and Pritzker have this not even hate relationship, right? So it's really perplexing me. But the last time Trump came, I won't say the last time, because the last time he was actually at the NABJ
Mhm.
and it was uneventful. But the first time in his first administration that he came, they ran him out of here, right?
Yeah.
So now that people are, and I think the second time when he came, people were interested in hearing what he had to say.
Mhm.
And now people are mad. They're just downright incensed.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's going to be peaceful. I do think and hope that it's going to be peaceful. And I pray that it's peaceful, because usually the people that get impacted and hurt the worst are the ones that are most vulnerable. Why are you putting your head like that?
I mean, are you guys gonna show up to the protest?
I plan to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, we should go together.
Y'all going to the
Okay.
to the protest?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna put a covering, a protection, a prayer of protection around you. And for all of you all who are thinking about going to the protest, pray first, protest next.
Mhm.
Keep it locked, y'all. We got way more to share right here on the Brunch Bunch.
Yeah, I was in the protests in 2020.
I'm definitely going, because the second they send it up.
Oh, you guys teach
Blue City,
together?
boy, what you talking
Y'all
about?
do
Like,
everything
you
together.
trying
What's
to
up,
get
Tina
what?
Weena?
Oh, this is America. You
What's
think
up,
it ain't supposed to be
Anthony
some
Adams? I
provocateur
love it.
in here?
You know what, Armisia? I'm
Bro,
so
they-
glad you guys are still together. You were like
Oh, bro, they strapping up right
twins,
now.
but not even twins. That is what
Oh,
sister,
yeah.
true
You got
sisterhood is
location
really
on
about.
you?
I love you guys. I love you
Yeah,
then.
come
I love you now. I love you from
Might
now
be some
on.
agitated.
Come on, dog. These
What's
boys
up,
were
Tony
shysters.
Bear? You on two?
They were
It's
shysters.
no
Come
audio.
on, dog. They putting the bricks in the car right now.
So they're saying it's no audio again today on my
On your Instagram?
Instagram. I don't understand.
Oh no, did we get banned? This be happening to me all the time.
You get banned,
I mean,
Yeah,
people
you
be
can
telling me
get
to
shadow
shut
ban
up.
on Instagram and stuff.
but then don't you know that you're in? Guys, I was in Facebook jail at one point, and then they wouldn't let me out. I was locked up. They won't let me out. But then I got free.
Well, who on Facebook? Zuckerberg? Yes. Is he cool with Trump? He might have heard you.
No,
They might have an AI filter on you say something bad about Trump. We cut you off.
we didn't say anything bad about Trump. We just told the facts. Now that's up to you to put a value to it, be it good or bad. We said nothing. Love you too.
I'm just saying, if there was a president that was gonna put something like that out there, I got surprised.
But how in the you got audio? Oh, we got audio, Tony. It's on you. It's your phone. It cut out.
Yeah, it was working. Something with your phone?
I have no idea. Let me tell you something. I have an extensive, limited tech repertoire.
They was at the barber shop talking like, bro, they can't wait, bro. Protest started, they Blue City, bro.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah, they mapping out everything already. They got their crews together and everything, man.
Who was at the barbershop? I'm just inquiring minds want to know.
The guys.
Uh-huh. It start with a G.
Yeah, well, all right, but you know, if they thinking like that, everybody else thinking like that too.
That's weird.
You know, except for George Floyd, you know, people got their practice on with the loot. They got plans now.
Oh, okay. Loot love? No, seriously?
It's a sport.
Yeah, no,
With
no,
a
it's a
game
job.
plan.
It's a job.
Y'all got teams now. They running the place like Call of Duty. That's why I said, of course I'm going to the protest.
Oh my God.
What? I get some free Hennessy this year. Oh.
Lord have mercy.
Oh, what? Y'all forgot too.
Wait a minute. Free Hennessy from the looters?
I'm just saying, if we get into the liquor store, it's on you. You know what I'm saying?
What's up, Tanya?
It's on you. You know what I'm
Man,
I have to
I'm
try
glad
to
you
reach
said that, because I'm going to make sure that all of our enterprises are locked down. Because you know, I told you guys they stole our catalytic converter. Now on vans they have 3 catalytic converters. They took 2.
Yeah.
Now I got something for them.
You might want to have your vans this weekend too. There's a be a lot of that going on. If I know all the police are going to be at the protest and I'm a criminal, I'm about to go haywire.
Okay. Well, I'm telling you, at my enterprise, your last worry is the police. Your last worry is the police.
Especially if I'm black too.
Am I on live?
Yeah, I restarted it to see.
But you didn't do it right.
Mhm.
I don't want to share that.
Play out the song, but
Take that out, because I always. Thank you. Okay, now go live. Okay. There you go. Wait, that's not the one I want. What's this one? Yep, there you go.
So they trying to defund the police again?
I don't know anything about that.
You said you said they was laying out their democratic wants or whatever. You said.
Oh, I said the pillars.
Yeah, you said they was trying to take the money from policing and put it in somewhere else.
They wanted more. They want more.
That sounds like defund the police.
They said
again,
invest in
Investment
communities instead of policing the communities, not defunding it, but
You can
stop.
change the words around.
No, that's not what that meant though.
I heard you, but if I'm a police officer. Hey, okay. See, you saying that now until you got to deal with the squatters and somebody run up in your mama house and all of that.
But they typically are ineffective with those things. Squatters, they can't.
They can't do nothing, bro.
So then why should I care how they do?
They can't do nothing because they keep getting.
Okay,
funded.
stay there,
That's what I'm
Tony.
saying, bro.
I don't know what's going on. It was doing that yesterday too.
The law's not in their favor.
I don't understand what you know what? It's AI forcing me to go get a new phone. And nothing's wrong with this one. Well, nothing except my audio.
So why instead of giving all that money to them, why don't you invest in the communities and give us benefits for the mental health?
But then when you need the police and they don't come through, you can't complain about it. If you keep saying let's take all their money and put it somewhere else.
But how often have you needed the police and they've come? I mean, and they've not come, or they've come and been ineffective. Like yesterday,
effective or ineffective, the fact that you can call the police is already a weapon.
I mean,
if I'm a criminal and I know you can't call the police, it's a fair game now.
That's true.
You feel me? So like the fact that you can call the police is already a weapon.
No, that's true.
If you lose that weapon,
But is it an effective weapon? That's what I'm asking you. It just needs to be more effective.
The threat of it isn't effective.
I don't think that we should not have police, but I think that we should make our police more effective, because now they are like so
financially weak in the numbers.
Not so much financially weak, but they are weak in strength.
They don't need all the money that they get.
Order
They get funded.
Go
Their
to
budget
bequeeze.com
increased
and get
just
your
in Chicago
favorite
like 3
fragrance
times in the last few years. They
Sure.
don't need all that money. You don't need all that
You
money.
can't
They have
sit there
the
and say you don't need that money.
Nah,
And
I
then
disagree
go
with that.
outside and
And risk your life for
every-
somebody you don't know. That I don't agree with. I think that
And it's nasty.
it's nasty in
I know
Chicago.
guys that shoot at police officers.
Yeah, for
With
sure.
with switching.
I think
It's
y'all are
nasty.
just
Tony, can you hear?
Can
Can you hear now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me
The
now?
amount of money they do
saying
have, our
decrease it?
communities that they're sending the police officers into,
No.
nothing, food deserts, no access to resources and stuff like that.
I'm saying
Why not save some of that money?
if Marcel saved some of your money, would you do more work? Or would you be more effective? No, you.
That's the
I'm
point.
Doing less work, bro. What are you talking about?
That's the
bro?
point that
If
I'm
my
trying
pension
to
is
make.
going away, I'm doing less work, bro. If my ability to arrest people and do things is going away, I'm doing less work, bro. The police get in trouble for doing certain things now that they didn't used to get in trouble for, bro. I can't even do my job effectively if I got to tiptoe around it.
But they do have to work within the constraints of what the law is. That they have been working, not all of them. I mean, that's not a blanket statement. It's not generalizing. But some of them have been working outside of the law, and that's where it gets ugly.
So should we punish all of them by taking that money?
No, we should punish them accordingly. We should punish those who need punishing.
We might have to give them more money. Because we might have, look, if the only way that we can like up the level of cop that we got is to pay them more. Right now, the only guys who want to be cops is $50,000 worth. We can bump that number up to $120,000 worth.
But they get paid $80-some thousand.
Some of them do, but some of them don't.
A lot of them do.
To risk your life every day in Chicago, that's almost really.
No, I agree.
And then go back home. You might lose your dad every single day.
That's true.
You might lose your mom every single day.
That's true. I agree with all of that.
80 ain't really even.
I'm just
You know what I
saying,
mean?
if you're going to say it right. It ain't just typically, and it's on the cityofchicago.org. You can see what police make. You can look their name up and see what they make.
I got in trouble with somebody. I got into it with somebody, and the police told me to shoot because they can't do nothing.
Experts in life safety and security systems.
Well,
So that's the world.
it's anarchy. It's definitely anarchy.
They can't do
The
nothing about it.
police told you to shoot them. And wow,
You know
that's
what I'm saying? So,
crazy.
we got what's going on in 10 seconds.
Okay.
447
what's story?
3344 and take control of your safety.
Okay.
That's 866-447.
Now it's not letting me in your life.
Where's the action, Jackson?
I'll tell you what's going on.
Well, obviously, I am not Action Jackson, but I am filling in for him today. And beside that story that I just spoke to you about this upcoming protest that's coming to Chicago on Saturday. That is what, day after tomorrow. I am so excited to report that our legislators here in Illinois are fighting the good fight. They're on the front lines and they're making it happen for Illinoisans. And what happens in Illinois can extrapolate across this nation. So Congressman Danny K. Davis rejects the Republican one big beautiful bill that makes poor people poor, sick people sicker, and hungry people hungrier. Well, today Secretary Bissett appears to praise the Republican one big beautiful bill that is the most cruel, draconian, inhumane legislation that I've ever voted for since I've been here. Government, I seriously believe, should help people and not hurt them. So I reject this bill, and this is all in the voice of Congressman Davis. I reject this bill that makes poor people poor, sick people sicker, and hungry people hungrier. I reject this bill and the bill that rips healthcare from 16 million Americans, with over 498,000 Illinoisans expected to lose their healthcare insurance, including 102,000 children, 27,000 seniors, and that is just in the Honorable Congressman's district alone. He further says that he rejects this bill that threatens his constituent Deborah and her two children, whom she adopted from foster care. This picture behind him shows, well, of course, if you had to be there in order to see that picture, but you can see that on social media, shows Deborah's children who are medically fragile and rely solely on Medicare for their health care. I reject this bill that will close hospitals in my district and kick people out of their nursing homes, not only in my district, but across the country, especially in urban inner city communities and rural communities for sure. I reject this bill that explodes poverty and suffering while giving the wealthy trillions in tax cuts. I reject this bill's irresponsible explosion of the deficit that triggers statutory cuts to critical programs supporting children and families. And for those of you who don't know, it adds $4 trillion to the already strapped budget. These pay-go reductions would eliminate funding for the maternal, infant, and early childhood home visiting program known as MyChev. And that is proven to improve mother and child health, family safety, and child development. That's the program that goes into the homes when the parents cannot take the children to their local or community daycare centers. It would eliminate the guaranteed funding for Mary Lee Allen promoting safe and stable families program that we know helps prevent child maltreatment and strengthens families. And it would eradicate the social services block grant that provides substantial investment in child care, child welfare, and adult protective services. This egregious cut alone will cost Illinois over $72 million and hurt Illinois children, seniors, and families. Lastly, I reject the bill that gives tax cuts to the wealthy paid for by denying and depriving low-income, poor people, senior citizens, sick people, unhealthy people, and the health care, food assistance, housing assistance, and economic development opportunities they need. He further goes on to close and say that this bill reminds him that there is something rotten in Denmark. There is something wrong with the thinking that puts such a bill in front of legislators. This bill is actually what they call Robin Hood in reverse, taking from the poor, taking from the disabled, taking from the sick, taking from the hungry, and give to the wealthy. It's not good, it's immoral, and in his final words in his dissertation, I reject it. Now, for those of you who have the same sentiment as the Honorable Congressman Danny Davis, it might behoove you to go and show your presence and have your voice heard on Saturday. It also might even further behoove you to call your congressman, your senators. Now I'm talking about on the federal level, and express your concerns. Now, the impacted areas that I just discussed, in the words of Danny K. Davis, I mean, that spreads wide and deep. You're talking about social services block grants. Now, literally, child care facilities, which we know from COVID is the bedrock of making sure that we have a burgeoning and stable economy. If families can't go to work because they don't have adequate child care, guess what? The economy crumbles. This can't be the the end game, or is it? That's the question. Maybe you have the answer. We're going to keep it moving right here on the Brunch Bunch, though, y'all. Keep it locked. Is that crazy or what? Is that crazy? Y'all are not hearing me. Oh, that's because y'all don't have kids. But if you had kids, you would be devastated about it.
Shout out to the No Kids crew.
I cannot take it.
Proud member.
You're a proud member of the No Kids crew.
Proud member. Yeah, no child
That way you don't have to deal with child care.
Child care, baby mamas, all of it.
Oh, you just already know you have plural baby mamas.
Well, when I look at my friends, these are the situations that they going through. So
You can break that curse. You can reverse the curse.
it's not even a curse.
I mean, to have several women that you have to deal with.
If one of them get pregnant, that's it. She's gonna get pregnant with the rest of them. That's it. I'm not having most.
So for everyone who is like interested in Jarrell,
try it if you want to. Though.
Try it if you want to.
I'm a trap king over here. You ain't gonna hit me. You ain't gonna get me. I'm a better thing.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Oh, multiple baby mamas. You know, live is conversing.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Something's going on with my Instagram anyway, because I was trying to upload a reel yesterday and it kept uploading. It's been uploading for 3 days. And hello. Oh, I got my birthday drink from Starbucks, but I didn't go get it. All right, it's on you now.
Which one?
It doesn't matter.
Oh, actually.
Oh, we'll probably talk about this. I wonder if Pritzker is going to show up at this fundraiser for Trump.
Show your power, bro. Let them know this your city.
Let them know. Gotta let them know. UNITY. No. Pritzker not going nowhere near that.
He ain't gonna get my vote unless he show. Hey, you gotta show you got some courage, bro.
Ian Griffin. I'm really shocked at him. But hey, $5,000 to $250,000 a ticket. That's the ultra rich.
They got it too.
They definitely got it to give it away. And it's really not a giveaway. It's really more of an investment into You Gonna Leave Me Alone fund.
Well, you gonna look out for me if I get locked up.
I don't know. He might not look out for you.
They catch me in the Diddy case, bro. You gonna come get me?
Now that might be the case. That you got a good point there.
Mr. Judge, you gonna come get me?
The New York governor's house. Is it Hochul?
Let me see.
HOCAQL.
I think it's Hochul.
You can't tell me nothing. I still think Trump is in the Epstein.
He definitely is. He definitely is. He most definitely is.
It's low key a meeting. Hey, they been asking you anything. The boys been talking to you.
Yeah, Tony, I agree. We do need to contact our elected officials, but it's not on every level. And we should crash the system. But that's the federal level that we will make the most impact. Now, your state congressmen that report to the federal government and vote on the federal government at the federal level, those are the ones that you will need to.
All right. So today's next story. Today, June 12th, Governor J.B. Pritzker testified before the House Oversight Committee in Washington, D.C. He defended Illinois' Trust Act, which limits cooperation between local law enforcement and federal immigration authorities. The hearing also included Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and New York Governor Kathy Hochul, I believe, and was held amid escalating tensions over President Trump's immigration enforcement tactics, including deploying federal troops to California. Pritzker's key points: criminals should be deported. He emphasized that undocumented individuals convicted of violent crimes have no place on our streets and should be removed from Illinois and the country. Sanctuary policies are lawful. The Trust Act, enacted in 2017, remains compliant with federal law, offering protections that don't obstruct crime enforcement. And rejecting federal overreach, Pritzker accused the federal government of abuses of power and said Illinois would not violate court orders or be coerced into assisting in civil immigration enforcement. Criticism from Republicans. Representative James Comer and other Republicans argued sanctuary policies put public safety at risk, citing cases of violent crimes by undocumented individuals. Large posters displaying crime victims were used to emphasize their point during the hearing. Democratic counter-arguments. Pritzker, Walz, and Hochul emphasized that enforcing immigration laws is a federal responsibility. They argued sanctuary jurisdictions support public safety and lawful practices. Governor Hochul highlighted New York's cooperation with ICE on criminal cases, citing over 1,300 inmate transfers. Pritzker warned against what he called an erosion of constitutional norms and defended state sovereignty over local law enforcement priorities. The broader implications of this: the hearing reflects deep national division over immigration and federal-state relations. Illinois and other states face ongoing federal lawsuits challenging sanctuary laws. Governors press for balance, deport criminals, but also protect immigrants and guard constitutional rights. So the bottom line, Governor Pritzker stressed that Illinois' sanctuary policy is legal, crime-focused, not status-based, and critical to upholding civil rights. He stood firm against what he called federal abuses of power while seeking common ground on deporting convicted criminals. The debate signals continued tension over immigration enforcement and federal authority.
So a couple questions. Can't all U.S. citizens be traced back to immigrants? Wasn't that the basis of which this country was founded? I mean, what's a big deal about immigrants? I agree with the criminals being deported. We got enough of our own, particularly here in Chicago, right? But I mean, just this widespread situation with all these different immigrants that you welcomed in sanctuary states, statutorily, I might add. And now you are having this big push to get them out. Make up your mind. You got to pick one, like literally. And have you ever seen a administration that from the onset has been riddled with so much criticism, so many lawsuits? Like, I've never seen this before in my entire life. And so the federal, like Pritzker said, that the feds are really abusing power. And the lawsuits prove it, because every state, well, I won't say every state, but almost every state has lawsuits in because of this abuse of power. But here's the thing, until something changes, right? And I mean, in the Constitution and in the country at large, we are still a government of the people, for the people, by the people. So that people power is strong. But when you are weak and you think that you don't have that power, now we won't even talk about, well, yes, we will talk about the godly power that you are layered with when you are a believer. Like, I know everyone who's listening to my voice is a believer. So you couple that with the fact that you have a protected, inalienable set of rights that you can exercise to stop this force of power, because this is authoritarian. I mean, it doesn't make sense to me. So, but the protests, are they effective?
I'm not sure. That's something I don't have an answer to, because
well, let's compare protest of the 60s, protest in peaceful protest period against the looting that happened during George Floyd. What were the gains in both?
Well, I mean, in the 60s, we saw the enactment of the Civil Rights Act. That definitely led to that. We saw changes in 2020 following the George Floyd protests. We definitely saw more cultural sensibilities or sensitivities, I should say, throughout the wider diaspora. But I believe that all of that is being walked back. So I can't really say how effective it was, because it worked for a little bit. But now that Trump's back in office, you see they're
being repealed.
Everything's being repealed. So I'm like, I feel like as long as whoever's in power, whoever's in top of the regime is up there, is going to take it away. We'll see how effective it is. I do believe that people should protest continuously regardless. I believe we should exercise our democratic rights to speak up against things that we don't agree with. And I think that people need to start protesting more in the political landscape. We need people more politically engaged than ever. People need to start voting in those primaries, vote in those midterms if you really want to see change, because that's the only way.
Well, the people did vote. The people voted for who they wanted in, and they did it with wide. I mean, this is a historic landslide in an election. But I don't think that the people really understood. But you know what? You understand, believers. Understand this. We're gonna be right back. It's the Brunch Bunch.
Yeah, people got what they voted for.
People got what they voted for.
I don't even understand like what they saying. They got to deport the migrants and they won't leave.
No, they don't want to leave.
It's like people who've been here for years, have families here, work here, jobs, and all that stuff like
So
that.
let me this, right? You got an apartment, right? I got an
How many
apartment,
minutes?
We get 5.5.
Oh, you got commercial?
Yeah, oh no, it was just 5.5 minutes or something.
Don't play that whole song. Play commercial.
Okay.
Play 3 minutes.
So look, you got an apartment, I got an apartment, right? Yep. There's a family on the corner that's in need, right? You got an extra room in your crib. You gonna let the family on the corner move into your apartment, right? Because you a nice guy. Out of the kindness of your heart, right? Okay, cool. You let them move in your crib for a little while, bro. Out of the kindness of your heart. And after a while, they get to breaking shit. And after a while, they get to running up your bill. They leaving the water running. Now the water bill $200 more than it's supposed to be. You hungry. You come home from work. They done ate up all your food and shit. How long, out of the kindness of your heart, do you let them continue to stay in your apartment and let them be a detriment to you? They breaking stuff, causing you money. They running up your bills, eating your food. Now you get into it with your girl because money ain't the same. Now you can't propose because they done goddamn broke your shit in the house and now you have to pay for that. How long you gonna let them keep being a detriment to your investment, which is your apartment, before they gotta go?
Yeah, it's not long.
Not long, right? So what's the difference between this migrant situation now? If you look at the government and say the country is the government's house, they've been here for a while. They breaking shit. They running up the bill. They eating all our food. How long do we keep letting them stay before we out of the kindness of our heart? We got sanctuary city out of the kindness of our heart. How long do we let them continue to be a detriment before, hey, bro, it's time to go? Now, difference between you and them, you invested. You got to pay taxes. They not invested. How long do you let them keep being a detriment to what you got going on before it's time for them to go?
I mean, not long.
Not long. And what's the difference between the government doing the same thing?
Because that's not what's going on with the migrant situation.
Well,
I don't think they care about protesting, to be honest with you, Tony.
Let me tell you the difference. The difference is that immigrants make up a large majority of the workforce. They make up more of the workforce than they're actually here. And they do pay taxes. But you know what they don't get? Social Security benefits. They can't vote. They don't get access to the same benefits that natural born citizens get. Yet they still account for all the manual, not all, but a large chunk of the manual labor. They get paid pennies. And they genuinely work for it.
And all of that is an excuse to let them stay in your house.
Yeah, because
it'd be a detriment to your investment.
But that's not a detriment. If they're economically providing, so the difference in your analogy, you're saying that they're all tearing stuff down, they're breaking stuff. But I'm saying they're not. I'm saying what's happening in reality is like they're coming to my house, but they're building extra rooms. They're bringing more income into the house.
The fact that they're here, they're running up your light bill, they're running up your water bill, they're eating your food, bro. They're taking away from your investment and not adding nothing else in. How long do you let them keep taking away from your investment and not adding before they gotta go?
I'm telling you, that's not what's happening. You're saying I understand your analogy.
So
that's
what is happening though, bro? Because
they
are using the EBT, they are using the Section 8, bro. They are using the medical program, bro. They are using the education, bro. They're not here for no benefit. They are using the benefits, bro. Just like that family in your crib are using the benefits, bro. They're using your cable, they're using your Wi-Fi, and the bills is going up. How long do you continue to let them be a detriment to you before it's time to go?
What do you mean by like because they use social services that they have access to, limited access to? Are you just denying that
access
do work and they do pay bills?
That access is for people who pay the 20% tax, bro. The access is people who have to live under the eyes of the law, bro. If I do a crime right now, you do a crime right now, they know where to come get me. They know where my job at. They know where my mom at. That's not the same for them, bro. Ain't no place to come get them. Ain't no paperwork to come get them, bro. So what I'm asking you is, how long do you let them continue to be a detriment to you before it's time to go?
I've already answered your question.
You really haven't.
But what he's saying is that they're not draining him, and what he's saying is they're draining the entire economy. So essentially,
and I'm saying they're not.
If you're here, you're using the resources, bro.
So you're saying they're taking up resources that could be used for citizens.
My question is: are you saying that not just that they're taking the resources? Are you saying they're taking the resources and not giving nothing back?
The fact that you're here, bro, you do not have to pay the same taxes that I have to pay if I got paperwork.
Literally not true.
That is true,
You
bro.
do realize immigrants pay taxes, right? They have to, especially if they
if they don't, what's gonna happen? The IRS gonna come get them with no paperwork,
or they can get arrested, or they can get
who's gonna come get them, bro? You have no way of knowing where I'm at to come even arrest me, but there's no paperwork, bro.
So then, how are they finding them now? How are they sending them off?
They're not. That's why they're bringing in the war dogs.
That's not true.
That's why they're bringing in the war dogs, because we're looking for people with no paperwork, bro. That's why we got to send in the war dogs. That's why LAPD can't deal with it, bro. Yes, but if you're here, you're using the resources, bro, 100%. How long do you let them keep using your resources before it's time to go?
I'm not disagreeing.
Man, come on,
I'm not disagreeing that they're using the resources.
5, 4, 3.
I didn't hear not one commercial.
Oh yeah, my bad. I got this. Let it ride.
What story you doing?
No, so we playing commercials.
Let me put you on to where I get my style right. GQ Gentleman, located at 7149 South State Street, right here in
That's the only one we
Chicago.
have.
Whether it's for church, prom, weddings, or galas, GQ Gentleman has the suits.
So Tamara, you see where I was coming from, though, Tamara? I don't know.
I see where you were coming from. I definitely see where you were coming from, because that's what the Republicans are saying.
Or anybody that owns anything.
Well,
Okay, so put you in the same scenario. You got a house. There's a family on the corner they in need. You say, I'm gonna let them stay up in the house, right? After a while, they running up the bills, they breaking stuff, they causing damage in your house, right? How long do you let them stay there before it's time to go? How long do you let them be a detriment to your investment before it's time for them to leave?
yeah.
And what I'm saying is the country is the government's house. They're responsible for it. How long do I keep letting them take away the resources or use resources, not really pay taxes, be able to create a whole black market before it's time for them to go?
Well, I mean, I see your point with that, but I also think that there's an unfair, inequitable imbalance that they allow certain people to do it and certain people can't do it. No, I'm saying if you're gonna get rid of them all. Don't pick and choose. You know, that's been my stance on everything. If you're gonna arrest them all and take them to Burger King, if you're gonna arrest them and take them to Burger King, take them all to Burger King. Not just.
I'm just not mad at the government for saying it's happening. If you would detriment to my investment, I'm not.
I don't think that's the bigger issue, though. I think the bigger issue is the process in which you're doing it, the inhumane process in which you're doing it. You invited these people here. That's like saying
you invited them to your house.
Right. I invited you to. But you invited them here for what? You had the opportunity not to invite them. Not only did you invite them, but you allowed states you sold them a dream that turned into a nightmare. Now I don't like you no more. They statutorily invited them into these sanctuary cities.
So Trump invited them?
No.
The other guy.
The other one. Not Biden.
It's time for them to go, bro. So the other guy told y'all could slide, and y'all I know
but immigrants have been coming into America since America has been America. Understand that.
Run up his bills, break his stuff.
But
not in my.
But you're the one who bought them here, so there's an onus. There's an onus on you.
He bought them
but
here.
you brought them here.
He bought them here.
In this analogy, you brought them here.
How?
Because you invited them.
No. They came in when he.
You're representing the government.
He came when he bought the house. When he bought the house, they came up in here. They came in here when he bought the house. I bought it from him. I told them to leave, and they say we've been here already. Oh no! This is my house now. Y'all came here on his ownership.
But what about when America? Well, I don't even want to go that deep.
People came as slaves. Ain't no voluntary nothing, so ain't no immigrant around.
But you took all of this from people that were already here and said you discovered it.
I'm not going to deny that. My thing is, you're not going to be a detriment to my investment. I can tell you the same thing, bro.
Not your investment, your takeover, your colonization.
5, 4, 3, 2.
You're rocking with the Brunch Bunch right here on Inspiration 1390. It's your girl Tamara Fair on the air, and I'm proudly posted in the studio with the Brunch Bunch. What's up, y'all? Well, you know what? On another note, we've been talking government. If you are following us and tuning into our live on Facebook, because my Instagram is not working today, I don't know why. But if you're following us on Instagram, there's so much talk about immigrants in the studio, but you can't get it if you don't tune in. But we're going to switch lanes a bit. We're going to talk about Ananda Lewis, the television host and model. She died, y'all, following a long breast cancer fight. You couldn't look at her and tell because she was still just as beautiful and poignant and just classy. So it was a prominent MTV video jockey and television host in the late 1990s and the early 2000s. She passed away yesterday on June 11th in Los Angeles at the age of 52 following a prolonged battle with breast cancer. She was a graduate of Howard University who first gained attention hosting BET's Teen Summit, and Lewis went on to become one of MTV's most recognizable, notable personalities. Beginning her tenure in 1997, she appeared on Total Request Live and Hot Zone before launching her syndicated program, The Ananda Lewis Show, in 2001. In October of 2020, Lewis publicly disclosed her stage 3 breast cancer diagnosis, later revealing in October 2024 that the disease had advanced to stage 4. She candidly admitted to avoiding routine mammograms and foregoing doctors' recommendations for a double mastectomy due to concerns about radiation and desire to pursue alternative treatments. Reflecting on these decisions, Lewis acknowledged that they may have expedited the progression of her disease. Despite foregoing conventional surgery initially, she eventually incorporated both standard medical therapies, including chemotherapy and holistic treatments, into her regime. Well, throughout her illness, Lewis became a vocal advocate for early detection and mammography, emphasizing prevention as the true cure. So, Ananda Lewis earned acclaim for her charismatic and engaging ways with youth and pop culture during her time at MTV. After leaving the network in 2001, she hosted her own show and appeared on A&E and TLC programs, including the 2019 revival of While You Were Out. She also worked in carpentry and maintained a strong presence as a social advocate. Well, she is survived by her son Langston, born in 2011, with her former partner Harry Smith, brother of actor Will Smith, and her public journey underscored both the value of early screening and the complexity of cancer treatment decisions. Her openness about her experience and her call for greater health vigilance has left a lasting impact. So, early detection is key. Early detection. So, you talk about these mammograms, and I'm not one to sway you one way or another, but early detection has been lauded as being the best defense. So what does that mean? That means you have to self-check. That means when you're in the shower, you're in the tub, you're actually taking your hand and you're feeling on your breast. And don't think, men, that you can't get breast cancer just because your breasts don't grow like women. You can get breast cancer too. So I'm encouraging men to do the exact same thing, because once it metastasizes, it's very hard. Even the best doctors, the experts, the best in the world, may not be able to assist you. Now, chemotherapy is rough. I mean, it takes all your cells, not just your bad ones, but the good ones too, and it wears you out. But so many different researches and so much progress has been made that if you are actually following that regimen with early detection and self-detection and all of that, and if you feel something, just go check it out. It might not be anything, or it might be something. But one thing it is, your body will talk to you. You just got to listen to it. So do you guys do self exams, or you just like wash off and keep it moving?
I was gonna say I just wash off and keep it moving, but I mean, maybe I should consider it.
Yeah, you should consider it. You know what? For those of you who are on social media, if you have ever done a self-exam, I want to know. Put it in the comments. In the meantime, we're gonna keep it moving right here. It's Inspiration 1390, the Brunch Bunch. Hold it. That is incredible. Well, you know what else? Oh, I don't have to know what else. So, did you watch the BET Awards? That's what DJ B-Lab wants to know. I saw some. You did?
I saw a little bit of it.
Yeah. And what did you think?
I mean,
did you see Tiana Taylor's performance?
I did.
And
I'm a Tiana Taylor fan, so I'm gonna like, you know, anything she does. But
I thought it was too electronic. I thought that her performance was because she's a singer. She's a triple threat. Like she's a singer, actor, and dancer extraordinaire. And I would have liked to have seen more of her and less of the costume.
Yeah, I see it. But I guess she's always been kind of transgressive and like doing out there kind of things. So I guess I appreciated it for the experimentation, I should say. But yeah, I liked it. I enjoyed the BET Awards. You know, I'm not the biggest BET fan, but I do.
I love BET, but I thought also Kevin Hart was over the top.
He was over the top, but I mean that's Kevin Hart's brand. Yeah, that's his brand.
I mean, when he was in the audience with the red fur coat, and him and Kerry Washington. What do you mean? She's stripping?
No, it's because her outfit.
No, you seen what she did.
What'd she do?
She took her shoulder straps off like she was finna, you feel me, take her top off.
Oh, I didn't see that part.
Yeah, come on, man. I mean,
women gotta stop being sexy at a certain age. Stop that.
It's a classiness to it.
She took her.
She was like she was finna too. You feel me? Like she was finna do the spring break or something, bro. Man, no,
Not
bro.
the spring break.
That's
I'm
somebody.
done.
That's somebody's grandmama, bro. Like, come on.
Everybody's somebody's mama.
Who's somebody's grandmama? Carrie Hilson. I'm talking about Kerry Washington. That's why no, because Kevin Hart was talking to Kerry Washington. She was talking. He wasn't talking to Kerry. Scandal.
Yes.
Take it down. We coming out. Y'all done made me. It's time to go.
You get 1 minute?
No, fade it because we don't have 1 minute.
So you don't want to come back in? Or you
I'm coming back in.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Well, you know, it's time for us to go. But if tomorrow, which is my favorite day of the week, Friday, we will be right back in. Hope you will be too. As always, we encourage you to keep Love 24 alive. Tell someone that you don't know, a perfect stranger, that you love them, and show someone that you do know how much you love them. Lead with love. Land on love. I love you, Justice and Jarrell.
I love you, Tamara.
Believers, we love you. Baby Eminem, we love you too. Up next is AC Green, and you know we do it all night long right here on Inspiration 1390. Peace and stay optimistic. Oh, today is Thursday. All right, y'all. All right, something is going on with me. I feel very dizzy. That's why I have to keep going out. So I am going to go see what that is.
I know you were snacking earlier. Have you eaten like actual meal?
I haven't. I think I've been eating incorrectly. So I'm going to go eat something.
Have you drank water today?
I have. No, I didn't drink water today. But I haven't been outside. I got out of my house